Hey, welcome back to the stash. For the past couple of months, I honestly haven't been enjoying this series as much as I once have. Dan Watter's Nightwing used to be a favorite of mine. It used to be my go-to for a modern series that's a good read. But over the course of the last few issues, things just haven't quite felt right. Be it inconsistent tones, unfocused priorities, or just confusing story elements. Granted, there's still a lot of good stuff here, but when the series was nothing short of fantastic since the very start, any form of a drop-off is bound to be felt tenfold. But so for this video, we'll first quickly recap the latest issue of Nightwing, and then talk why, in my opinion, this series has slowly lost its steam and momentum with each new release. Before we properly begin though, I want to take a quick second to say that here at The Stash, we're trying to reach 13,000 subscribers before the end of the month. Now, I know it's a huge ask, but I also know with your help, we can do it. So if you can, please hit that subscribe button. Any support here truly does mean the world to me. But with all that said, let's jump right back into the video. Nightmite is in dire trouble, and with the help of a new suit granted by Sephiric Solutions, it's Nightwing's job to put an end to the madness. Meanwhile though, we witness a strange audio log take place, one from another hero that goes by the same name, Nightwing, one that is not native to Earth, but rather Krypton. Inside the tower, Nightwing is forced to battle his way through dozens of Deathwings. The fight is seemingly endless, until the Kryptonian joins in the fray, and destroys all the Deathwings with ease. Later on, the two Nightwings aboard a ship and begin talking about their origins, more specifically about the man who will forever inspire them to do good. But then, suddenly, their conversation is cut short for their vessel is under attack. Down below, arrows fire without any sense of pause, but the real strange thing here is those who's shooting the arrows. It's Dick's old costume drawings come to life. All this does is make it even more clear that Nightmite is behind all of this, even if he's been forced to. Sadly though for the Kryptonian, it means that he too is nothing more than a puppet brought to life. It doesn't matter to him though, for he swears to still help Nightwing. Soon after they arrive at their destination, they stand before a giant door. Behind it is the Beast of Titanus. Upon entering though, everything is about to change, because without warning, the Kryptonian Nightwing does the unthinkable. He betrays Dick Grayson, leaving him to battle the beast within the tower, all by himself. Now when writing the script for this video and even just leading up to it, I felt insanely conflicted. On one hand, this has been a series I've loved in its entirety up until recently where I feel like it started to drop off severely for me, and on the other, I see that online so many people thoroughly enjoy these releases that I've personally found very lackluster. To be honest, I was just wondering if maybe I wasn't getting it, or maybe if it would take some more time, but after reading the latest issue 128 of Dan Watter's Nightwing, that same persistent feeling of disappointment only became stronger for me. Now of course, it's totally fine if you're still enjoying the series, but for me, it's just taken such a drastic turn in tone and style, and with that change, it's kinda thrown me off a bit. After Tom Taylor ended his run on Nightwing with issue 118 before joining Detective Comics, Dan Watters came in as his replacement, and the improvements he made were felt immediately. Paired with one of the best Nightwing modern artists around, Dexter Soy, the two with complete ease brought Nightwing back to his very roots, creating this intense crime drama that felt like it could almost fit right in with the immortal Chuck Dixon run. I love how grounded and dark it was. It tackled such important themes and dared to go to places where most other stories would fear to tread. Not to mention how elegantly Nightwing's character growth was within these issues. The events that unfolded generally had a real effect on him. He was becoming more brooding by the day, but then eventually he became that shining light in a pit of darkness once more. He became that bright guardian of Bloodhaven again and fully owned it. And with each issue seemingly getting better and better, I couldn't wait to see how the rest concluded. I mean, we've got this gang war going on, Dick's sister is fighting for a mayor spot, Olivia Pierce is corrupting Bloodhaven more with each passing day. There's even a pretty cool mystery behind her and her origins. But then for some reason, issue 124 marked the end of the initial story arc in a way that just kind of felt, I don't know, wrong to me. When I first read it during its release, I sat there confused. It felt like pages were missing. It was barely a conclusion for such an all-round stellar story. To make it worse, the series then goes on this Captain Hollow mystery filler story for the next couple of issues that just honestly really ruined the pacing for me. It was kinda jarring how different the book looked and how separate it felt to the main story apart from a couple of nods. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have filler stories. Every comic eventually has filler, but where my problem arises is how it puts this incredible story on pause and how it makes that conclusion in issue 124 feel even less complete. And now with the last couple of releases, the book's direction has gone so far off the rails of its more previous grounded feel to the point where I'm almost just waiting for it to be over. I don't know, there's something about seeing Nightmite, even in the context of the story, that just kind of takes me out of it a bit. I never liked Nightmite to begin with. I personally thought Batmite was enough, but seeing him here is just sort of really off-putting for some reason. I don't feel like there was a smooth enough transition when it comes to shifting the tone of the book. It was too jarring for my liking, and it sucks because I really wanted to continue loving this book. Obviously, I'm still going to buy each new release because I do have hope I'll enjoy it again. But for the past month or so, I just haven't felt that spark I once had. I wasn't that excited seeing it a part of my new pickups. There is some positives I did find within the story though. The artwork is of course still really good and consistent under Dexter Soy. I love how dynamic the book looks here with him as the artist, and especially the action scenes. They never fail to impress. He can capture that Dixon vibe that I believe Nightwing comics should always have to a T. So the artwork is easily one of my main pros about the story, even if his new suit reminds me of Gotham Knights. Speaking of the new suit, I do like how Dick has been forced to work with Saphiric here. The element is really fun for the story, but I just kind of wish they took more of a center stage again like they once did, considering they've really taken a back seat now. At the end of the day though, I think what stings the most is just how much I wanted to love this, how much I still want to love this as well, because as I said before, this wasn't just another book I picked up on release day. This was the series I looked forward to every single month. This was the one that brought me back to why I adored this character and the Chuck Dixon run. And when something like that starts to feel like a chore to keep up with, it's hard not to feel disheartened. And I kind of feel disappointed in how the story has been turning out. But I'm not writing this off. I don't want to write it off. I still believe there's potential in where the story could go next. I think there's threads in here, some really compelling ones actually, that just need more focus, more time, and more intention behind them. And even now, I still find myself clinging to those moments where the book shows flashes of brilliance, be it the artwork, the lingering tension between Dick and Olivia, the undercurrent of morale decay pulsing through Bloodhaven, because it's still all there. But lately, it just feels like it's been buried beneath noise, and maybe that's part of it. Maybe the book's just lost its sense of rhythm. The tonal shift felt like a detour rather than an evolution. And for a character like Nightwing, who's always stood as this symbol of heart within darkness, that shift means everything. So, of course I'm still here. I'm still hoping it finds its way back, not just to the crime drama roots that made it sing, but to the emotional weight it carried so effortlessly at the start. Because when this series is good, it's really good. I mean, this team has proven many times within the start of this run that they can create something special. And it's a shame that to me it's lost its footing, but I still wholeheartedly believe that they can regain it just as easily. And maybe that's why the recent issues have hit me harder than they probably should. At this point though, I think I'm just going to try to meet the book where it's at, not where it was or where I hoped it would go, but where it stands now. Because it's clear that something shifted, not just in tone or pacing, but in direction, and while that might work for others, it's left me feeling a bit out of step with the series I used to feel so locked into. There's still value here, there's still moments that remind me why I connected with this run in the first place, but lately they've started to feel like echoes into the foundations, and as a reader, that's a strange place to be. I'm definitely not done with this book, but I'm certainly adjusting my expectations. I'm no longer hoping for the same feeling it once gave me. I'm just hoping for something that feels worth sticking around for. But at the end of the day, I love this character, and I'm sure you do too. So I just want to really like this book, and the fact that I haven't sort of just disappointed me in a sense. But I wanted to also know from you guys, if you'd like to see me continue making videos about this series, be it just the reviews monthly with each new release, or this sort of style where I wait for some issues to pass and then talk about the series as a whole. Either way, it works for me. I don't really have a preference, but I can also make a poll on the community post side of things, just so you can have a vote there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because here, Any support means the world to me. And yeah, thank you guys again for watching, and see you in the next one.